Hi, this is Dr. Sandy Anderson and welcome to Yoga for Happy Spines. Today we're going to be working on posture. We're going to be starting in a standing position. We'll then go to seated, then to a supine face up position into a few minute Shavasana. We're going to be focusing on the cervical spine, the neck, the mid-thoracic, mid-back, lumbar spine, as well as sacrum, the very base of the spine. We're going to work having all four corners of the feet connected to the floor, slight bend to the knees. We'll walk through each of the steps that we need to do for proper posture to help carry you through your day. Enjoy. So posture is extremely important. We find that so many people tend to not have good posture, which brings myriad conditions from their feet to their knees, to their hip pain, to low back pain, shoulders, forward head carriage. So being aware of posture is a really important way to be able to be proactive. For a long time to come, we're going to watch our posture. The tendency as we get older and gravity takes its course that we're going to go into a forward position. We're going to work against that. So bring your feet about shoulder width apart, if not a little bit less. Slight bend to your knees, just slight bend to your knees. Tuck the sacrum in. So your sacrum, the tip of the sacrum, remember it has a curve that's facing me. You want the curve of the sacrum, that's at the very base, to come toward me. So you're lifting the hips and bringing them forward just a little bit. Yeah. Let's go back down to the feet. You can gently close your eyes if you want, or eyes can be open. Feel both of your pinkies on the mat. Feel both of your big toes on the mat. Feel the outside of the heels and the inside of the heels. Coming up the legs, slight bend to your knees. Tucking of the sacrum. Bring the musculature of the right leg toward the left, left toward right, as you just gently tighten that, as you bear down your core. Palms facing in to your hips, shoulders toward the back of the room, as though you're pinching your shoulder blades together. Chin parallel to the floor, shoulders parallel to the floor. Head pretending there's a hand about an inch above your head, and you're just trying to reach your entire spine up, your entire body, to touch that hand that's above you. And that's a great way to go through your day. People don't even know that the right leg is offering resistance to the right to the left to the right. The buttocks are tightened, the core is tightened, the shoulder blades are back. That's a nice posture. I'm going to turn to the side, and then in a moment I'm going to turn to the back while we clasp hands behind, shoulder blades together, palms together, still having that slight bend to the knee. Feel those shoulder blades come together, and then exaggerate it a little bit. Bring it a little closer together. And see if you can bring the hands toward the space behind you. See if you can lift those arms just a little bit. Look down to the floor and look up to the sky. Release the hands back down toward the buttocks, head facing forward. Release the hands from each other and back into perfect anatomical posture. How did you do with that?
Good. I could feel it stretching here.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to practice. That's beautiful. We're going to go into the next posture. I'll show you first what we're going to do. The same way we had our hands clasped, slight bend to the knee, we're going to bend the knees a little bit more as we bring our bodies down toward the floor and the arms up toward the sky and back down. We'll then come up and we're going to go into chair. So chair, you're going to pretend there's a chair behind you. There's not really. We'll pretend. So from this position, as we come up, we're going to release the hands. The palms are going to face each other, working those shoulder blades. We're working on strengthening the shoulder blades, keeping the core. We're going to go up. Palms are going to be toward each other, and we're going to sit back as though there's a chair there. We'll take probably 3 breaths and then try to sit just a little bit more. It's called 1 bit more, and you'll hear me say 1 bit more.
Lower?
Yeah, so we're going to see if we can go down lower and toward the back, the buttock toward the back. So, okay, I'm gonna sit now. There's a chair there, so that'll be chair, okay? So the first thing we're going to do for the next 2 postures is get into the position we were just in, where the hands are going to clasp behind us. I'm going to turn to the side, have a gentle bend to the knee, and a little bit more of a bend as you forward fold, hinging from the hips, shoulders toward each other, and bring your arms up toward the sky. Both hands together. If you can keep your palms clasped, good. See if you can go down just 1 bit more, feeling those shoulder blades pushing toward each other. And let's come back up to standing. Release the hands, bring them forward, palms facing each other, into chair. And in chair, you're going to pretend there's a chair behind you and you're sitting, using that core, feeling the muscles. Take a breath in. See if you can go down and back just 1 bit more, keeping shoulders away from your ears. And come on back up. Let's bring the arms out to the side and hug. Bring the right arm and the left arm, right hand, left hand to the shoulder blades and hug. And arch like we did last week when we did cat and cow from a seated position. Arch so that you come into a cat position and then release and just stretch your arms out, belly button forward, look up to the sky. And 1 more cat. Hugging, reach for the shoulder blades. Beautiful, look down, arch your spine, release, and go back into arch belly toward the front, look up to the sky, leading with your chin, and come back to neutral. Good. Shoulder rolls. Shoulder rolls. When you work a part of your body, give it a little break afterward and then roll the other direction. Anything you do with your body, with yoga, try to do it balanced. Right side, left side. Let's keep the right arm on your leg. Lift the left arm all the way up to the sky. Good. And see if you can reach up to the sky a little bit more. Keeping both feet firmly planted, all 4 corners of the feet right into your mat, and pushing down with your left hip, come over your right side. Good. Push down, down, down with that left hip so you're feeling it in that low back. And come on back up, right in there. Yeah, and let's switch to the other side. So bring the right arm up to the sky, lift it up, feeling all 4 corners of the feet firmly planted and over the left side. Pop, pop, pop. And come on back up. And let's try it to the other side as well again. Gives you the opportunity to compare how much different does your body feel the second time. Down, and you feel that stretch in the low back when you engage the feet to the mat. Almost as though you're making a full stretch with that entire side. And down. Beautiful. Let's go into a seated posture. So in your own comfortable seated position, buttocks firmly planted on the floor, palms can be face up or face down, shoulders parallel to the floor, and the spine parallel to the space behind you, almost pretending there's a wall right behind you and you're sitting up against the wall. Same way we tightened the core before when we were standing, we can do the same thing when we're sitting. Core isn't just belly, core is all the way around, the muscles in the back as well. Shoulders toward each other, palms up or down, chin parallel to the floor. Pretend there's a hand about an inch above you, which gives you this, and feel that curve in the lumbar spine. So gently, let's do little circles with the neck and make the circles a little bigger as you go around. And let's go the other direction, bigger, bigger circle, and then down to a smaller circle. Keep the right hand planted on your mat. Let's lift the left arm straight up. Good. Same way we kept the feet planted, let's now keep the sit bones planted and come over your right side. Good. And back over to the other side. Arm up. Lift it up to the sky and over, really feeling that right hip come down into your mat. And over the other side, let's do the left arm again. And over. Good, see if you can go one bit more. Will your body allow you to go just one bit more? Over and up and over your left side. Pretty. Good. Let's do seated cat-cow as we did. Hands are going to be face down on your knees. Take a breath in as you bring your belly button to the space behind you. Let your breath out as you bring your belly button toward the front of the room, shoulder blades toward each other. Look up to the sky, leading with your chin. And breath in as you come into your cat posture from sitting. And breath out as you come to cow. And back to neutral. Beautiful. Little spinal twist. So for a spinal twist, let's start with the right hand on top of the left knee. Bring the left arm in front of you and swing all the way back, letting the hand land on the floor on the tips of your fingers. And see if you can do one bit more by pushing that right arm gently against the right hand, gently against the left leg. And come on back to the space in front of you, and let's switch arms. So we'll have the left hand to the right knee, the right arm in front of you, and sweep it all the way behind, letting it land on the tips of your fingers, breathing and relaxing when you're there. And when you have your posture, see if you can go one bit more. And come on back into neutral. Are you good sitting? Good. If you need to stretch your legs out at any point, that's fine. We're going to do a posture called Sufi grinds. Ultimately, a Sufi grind is going to be small circles, and then the circles are going to get bigger and bigger. And I'm not going to make any rules or any restrictions on this. If you want to keep the sit bones, the buttocks firmly planted, you can, or if you want them to lift and you want to move. But the idea is to just move through circles. But we'll start out with just small circles, whichever direction. Feeling yourself going to all points. There may be an area in that low back that you find is a little bit more tender one direction than the other. And see if you can get just a little bit bigger with your Sufi grind. Good. And one more, and then we're going to switch positions. So to think about, do you feel one area, or two, or three, where you have a little bit more discomfort? I know I do, which is how I got into yoga in the second place. The first place was the influence of my mama, who started teaching yoga in the 70s, but then my low back was a really good inspiration. Many years as a chiropractor brought me some low back distress. And then little circles, and come back up to neutral. Yeah. Let's bring the legs straight out in front and bounce them. Heels on the floor, toes toward the sky, feet parallel to the front wall, and just bounce. Point your toes to the front of the room, and then your heels. And toes and heels to neutral, and scrunch, just scrunch your toes. Good. And little circles with your feet. And then the other direction. From this sitting posture, we're going to go into supine, laying on the back. So let's go on to our back. Just give your body a moment to feel all the feels. So let's bring the right arm up to the sky and then overhead. And bring it back down alongside of you. Lift the left arm straight up to the sky and really reach it up and then overhead. Good. And bring it back down. Let's bring the right leg, keeping the leg straight, foot flat to the ceiling, up to the sky. So your right leg straight up to the sky. Good. Keeping the foot flat against the ceiling. Can you bring that right foot, keeping it straight, a little bit more toward the head? Stretching out the hamstrings, the back of the leg, and down. And now the left leg straight up to the sky, foot flat against the ceiling, and see if you can bring it one bit more toward the back of your head, and down. Let's bring both arms straight up to the sky. Bend both knees. Flatten out your lumbar spine by lifting your body up just a little, and then lift both legs up to the sky. So your feet are flat against the ceiling. and your hands are straight up to the sky. This is a yoga posture called Dead Bug. Funny name, but it really does feel like your spine is flat against the mat. Bend both knees and let your hands land on the top of your knees. See if you can bring your hands around so that you can clasp both of your knees in your clasped hand. Take a breath in as you lift your head up toward your knees. Let your head down. Release just the right leg. Have the right leg be straight on the mat. Straighten out the right leg. Good. Good, and let's see if we can bring that left knee a little bit more toward the chest as you take a breath and lift the head up toward the knee. And let that down. Bend the right knee, move your hands over to the right knee, straighten out the left. See if you can bring that right knee a little bit more toward your head. Take a breath in as you lift your head and your shoulders up toward that knee. And down, head down. Bend your left leg and put the right leg, which is bent, on the left leg like a 4. Perfect. Okay. Right arm is going to go through the 4. The left arm is going to go to the outside of that left leg. Bend that left knee toward your head and see if you can clasp your hands behind that left thigh. If you can, great. If not, see if you can get the left shin parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Lift your head up if you can and the shoulder blades toward that bent left leg. And down, and let that left foot come to the mat. Release the right foot and put the left into the 4 over the right leg. Left arm through the 4, right arm on the outside of the right leg. Bring that knee toward you and see if you can lift that right foot toward your head and your head toward your foot. And down. Stretch out both legs. And just feel the feels. Bend both knees so that your feet are flat on the mat. Palms of the hands are going to be flat alongside of you. Bring your shoulder blades toward each other and push the hips up toward the sky, pushing your hands down on the mat to be able to lift your hips. Your feet are staying on the mat, so you're pushing down on the mat with your legs. You're pushing up with the hips. The hands are pushing down. Your shoulder blades are flat. The head is flat against the mat. And if you would like, you can release the hands and they can go up toward the sky in an Anjali Mudra posture, which is prayer hands, hands facing up to the sky. And when you're ready, just release the hips back down to the mat and release your hands down to the mat. Come on to your side, one side or the other. It doesn't matter which. Good. Bring your arm underneath your head. Good. Keep both legs straight if you can. Find your balance. You may need to move things around. The top leg, bend the top leg so that your foot is going toward the side wall. So go ahead and bend it, and then bend, and then bring your hand behind you, that top hand. Yeah, see if you can bring your hand towards your foot. Can you grasp onto your foot? And can you let the knee relax now so that the knees are with each other? Good, do you feel that stretch in the low back? Mm-hmm. Okay. See if you can bring the heel a little bit more toward the buttocks. And release, turn over to the other side and do the same thing. So you'll lay on your side, bend the foot, bring the foot toward the buttocks. One side's going to be easier than the other. And release. Using the hand closest to the sky, push yourself up to a seated position. So if you were spending a lot of time on the computer, I'm glad that there are some people that are not and some that are. You would want to keep the wrists nice and supple because this position, working on the keyboard all day, can hurt the shoulders, can hurt the wrists. So let's just do some wrist circles and the other direction. Good. Let's put the arms straight so that you're pushing your hands against mine. And then fingertips down toward the floor. And up toward the sky. And down toward the floor. And shake. Good. Going to go into a wide V formation, so the shoulders are going to be still facing toward each other, the shoulder blades, the legs, and the feet, and often you will hear me say, have the feet be parallel to the space so that the heels are down, the toes are up. Good. In yoga, we do a lot of forward folds, and the forward folds are hip hinges. With low back discomfort, a hip hinge can be a challenge. So we're going to work on a hip hinge right now from a seated position. So, again, watching our posture, hands could be palms up or down. Put your hands onto the hips and put them onto the space right where the hip bone meets up with the top of the leg. Good. And we're going to work to pinch those together. So we're going to lift the body up and we're going to pinch toward the hand we're pinching the hand with the hip bone actually. So just lean forward just a little bit. Yeah. Now I can feel that in my low back from here. Is that something you can feel at this point?
Inner thigh.
Okay, let's come back up. Good. So now that you feel it, let's hinge forward a little bit more. See if it go a little bit more toward the ground. You've got great flexibility in there. That's beautiful. And come on back up. A lot of times if you want to challenge your flexibility, do it in stages like that. The next one we'll do is going to be to see if we can go down just a little bit more. So lifting the body up and hinging forward. Release the hands and put them down onto the mat somewhere. I have seen, I'm not able to do it, where you can bring the forearms to the mat. So keeping your right leg straight, tuck the left tuck the left foot into the thigh. Good. So body nice and tall, and let's face that left foot. So by facing the left foot, the hips are going in that direction. There you go. And walk the hands down the feet, down the leg. An important thing to do is to make sure you're keeping both hips firmly planted on your mat. And see if you can go just one bit more. To do that, take a breath, let your breath all the way out, relax the shoulders, and walk your hands back up. Come over your bent knee and go forward just a little bit. Just hinge forward a little bit. Come back up. The idea here is to feel the feels. Stretch out your left leg, bend the right against the thigh. Turn your upper body toward your outstretched leg. Hinging from the hips, we're gonna walk forward. Just walk it forward, yeah. Good. Take a breath in, let your breath out. See if that allows you to go one bit more. Feeling both hips firmly planted. Walk the hands back up. And then over the right side, just a little bit of a reverse stretch. And a little bit of a hinge forward. Good. And come on back up. So for right now though, we'll go into Shavasana. And Shavasana can be either sitting or laying, and this is the position where we just look at all the different places in the body that we just work toward relaxing them and quieting the mind just for a few moments. So go ahead, find yourself in a comfortable position. I'm going to turn the light off. And just feel the feels while you're laying on your back. And welcome to Shavasana. Your time, your space, your thoughts or not. A time where you get to let go. This is your time to feel. What do the legs, the hips, the belly, the shoulders tell you? Your head, your eyes, your cheeks, your teeth. All the things we do during the course of the day, we thank our body for giving us the mobility, for giving us the flexibility, for giving us the balance. What is your word? What do you think of when it's your time for you? Taking a breath in, letting it out to the word peace. And a breath in, releasing the breath to the word quiet. And breathing in your own space, your own time, to the words, may I. May I be peaceful. I be protected. May I be safe. May I inspire and empower those that are walking this path with me. From this moment forward, life takes on new meaning. All decisions I make enhance my health and my wealth. My actions promote wellness by creating balance to my spine, to my body, to my life. I nourish and strengthen the quality of all relationships, starting with me and reaching out to everyone I touch today, tomorrow, from this moment forward. Come on to one side or the other and just rest there. Using the hand closest to the sky, putting that flat on your mat, push yourself up to a seated posture. With my hands in Anjali Mudra, the light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for practicing with us today. Namaste.